There are people out there that time and time again will scam people relentlessly. And some of these scammers can become incredibly successful, but there's one common trend with these people. They always come undone by one singular thing: the Achilles heel, the arrow in the knee. Skyrim reference.
I used to be an adventurer like you. Then I took an arrow in the knee.
Something that brings an entire house of cards toppling down. And today is no different, with the example being Billy Mitchell, the record holder for having the highest score in Donkey Kong. This guy has been so infamous with his cheating that Regular Show added him as a throwaway character called Billy Bobby Ferguson.
Yeah, I'm GBF all right, but it stands for Garrett Bobby Ferguson, not Giant Bearded Face.
Now, Billy, like I said, has the world record for the highest score of Donkey Kong on an arcade cabinet. And when he was accused of cheating, he could have, thrown his hat in and gone, "You got me," Walter White style. But no, he has chose instead to go around and sue every single person talking about it. And it has now come to light that he has got that record through very, very fraudulent means. And his, his silver bullet, his way to prove his innocence, is eyewitness testimonies. People that saw him get the record. And the eyewitness testimonies, they are some of the most sleazy people imaginable. You guys might know the Billy Mitchell thing. You probably know him. Hang on. This guy got the world record for Donkey Kong, and then they found out that he was cheating. He sued, and because he's got a lot of money, he won. But I know him because they put him in a Regular Show episode as a guy that plays a video game and then he cheats. So they put him in like a Regular Show episode as well, like playing some game or something. But yeah, this guy's basically got a lot of money. He's very powerful. And he basically sues anyone that says bad words about him.
Hello, you absolute legends. In 2019, video game player of the century Billy Mitchell sued Twin Galaxies for defamation after they removed his high scores from their database and said he didn't achieve them on original hardware. For almost 4 years, this lawsuit has dragged on.
Basically, they proved that he was running an emulator. They pulled his record because they said, what you're playing on right now, there's stuff that's happening in the game that cannot happen in Donkey Kong ever. You are running an emulated version. I think it was like pixels flickering or something like that. But this lawsuit is still going on. I think it actually wraps up this year.
For everyone involved, it looks like it should be wrapping up and going to trial sometime this year.
I just said that. I just said, what the hell? I just said that. Oh my god. I should make YouTube videos. What the hell?
The crux of Twin Galaxies' defense so far has been centered around 2 videotapes that show Billy's high scores. And it's been proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that the game
Garrett Bobby Ferguson. That's right. In Regular Show, they didn't call him Billy Mitchell because they would have got sued as well, so they called him Bobby Ferguson.
Gameplay seen on these videotapes cannot come from an original Donkey Kong arcade. Instead, they must have come from an emulator. Billy Mitchell seems to have lied and said he played on an arcade machine when he in fact didn't. And this opens up the possibility for cheating in numerous ways. In his lawsuit against Twin Galaxies, Billy claims these videotapes don't matter because he achieved the scores live and he has witnesses. How is it possible that he performed them at a live event in front of hundreds of people if he faked it and actually played on an emulator? The videotapes must be fake.
So his cope isn't that they got the information wrong. His cope is the entire information they provided is just made up. It's like that guy on the security camera with the beard and the Jesus hair. It wasn't me. There was another guy playing that just had the Jesus hair and the beard.
Just be ignored because he has real people that say he really did it, and they saw it happen, so it must be legit.
Wait. What was that?
That's not his actual gameplay, or should just be ignored because he has real people that say he really did it. And
okay, so he's trying to make an alibi for himself by saying, my friends saw me get the world record. That's fine. I like how there's no names, no sources given. It's like, oh yeah, no, there was a guy. Some guy saw me. He saw me do it. That's 2 sets of eyes. Okay, I didn't cheat.
And they saw it happen, so it must be legit. As Billy said in his lawsuit, if everyone is lying, it must be a conspiracy akin to that of the Kennedy assassination.
He's coping that bad that if he goes down, the entire government are reptilian people and the Kennedy assassination was an inside job. I like that. I like that. I thought the YouTuber was saying that like as a kind of a joke, but he has put that on his actual court document.
The videotapes were the only tangible evidence these scores ever happened, so that's all anyone had to go off. Aside from the tapes, it was just people saying that it happened, which really doesn't cut it. There was no footage of Billy actually playing. There was nothing to indicate that he was even there or that he played at all. That is, until now. For the first time in 15 years, photos of Billy Mitchell at one of these events where he claims to have...
I'm pretty sure this guy was in on it and he got fired. I'm pretty sure. This is the guy, the referee that gave Billy the record for like the highest score in Donkey Kong.
Achieved one of his world records have surfaced. And I'm not going to beat around the bush. These photos absolutely destroy Billy's case.
Paid referee actor. I mean, no, he literally was the equivalent of a paid actor, yeah.
He is done. There is no more doubt Billy will lose his lawsuit. These photos do more damage than anything that has come before them, and I'm not exaggerating. Even if you disregard all of the videotape evidence, Billy's world records would still be disqualified, and he would still be banned for lying just because of these photos. So how is that even possible? Let's find out.
I'm about to ruin this entire man's career. Hope you enjoy. Probably be a sponsor.
Now, Legends, I am super excited because this video is sponsored by Magic. When Twin Galaxies banned Billy Mitchell in 2018, they did so because of videotapes showing two scores. The first is a 1.047 million point score Billy achieved in 2004, known as the King of Kong score. It's called this because this score is featured in the King of Kong documentary. The second is a 1.05 million point score Billy achieved.
I like how it's playing the Mass Effect 1 music when you're searching for planets. This is the music I want to hear when someone like takes down my entire career.
In 2007, which is known as the Mortgage Brokers score. This is because he supposedly achieved it at a mortgage brokers convention. The videotapes for both of these scores show footage that isn't legitimate. This is a fact, and it's why he was banned.
Billy's footage is compared to the actual, like, the arcade recordings and stuff. That's, like, it's so easy to like, look, it's not even flat.
But aside from that, there was no other evidence that Billy even played the game, aside from a few people saying it happened. Well, to be completely...
I know this is judging someone entirely on appearance, but he doesn't look like someone... He doesn't look like someone that actually plays video games, right? Let alone getting the top world record for one of the hardest games of that, like, era. He just looks like a used car salesman.
Aside from a few people saying it happened. Well, to be completely fair, the King of Kong score actually does have 0 witnesses. It's the mortgage broker's score that Billy has a few witnesses for. And it's this mortgage broker's score that we now have photos for. So let's take a deeper look into this. Of course, as the tape shows the score wasn't done on an original arcade, we'd assume he didn't actually get the score at the event. But for a moment, let's forget all about the videotape and humor Billy's argument that the tapes don't matter. In his lawsuit against Twin Galaxies, Billy submitted 5 witnesses.
Wait, he was there for the premiere of Pixels, the Adam Sandler film? What? That is just so... The comedic timing on that, man, that they had Billy Mitchell appear at an Adam Sandler film. He must have knew. He must have knew.
Statements saying they were at the event when the score happened. 2 of these statements are from people who worked at the convention. They just say they were there when it happened, but they don't say they actually saw him get it. And they aren't even Donkey Kong players, so they have no idea what's going on anyway.
So the eyewitness testimonies are people that don't play video games for a living. They just wandered in there on accident.
We all know that Billy likes to lie in public, as he recently showed, so a random person thinking a score happened when it really didn't doesn't mean much. So we can disregard those 2 statements. This leaves 3 witnesses that say they directly saw him get the world record. The first is from a guy called Richard Mallion. He says he watched Billy's score reach beyond 1 million points and that he saw him achieve his targeted score. Richard is actually a childhood friend of Billy's. In fact, he appeared opposite Billy in the school yearbook.
It's
but
over.
Let's not hold that against him. While it is common for friends to lie for each other...
It's over. He got the childhood friend excuse. This is the equivalent of pulling like Eric Cartman from South Park, like when you're in your 20s and be like, yeah, I knew this guy. Please lie to the people for me so I don't get sued.
Let's not assume that's what happened. Now, when I'm deciding whether or not someone is trustworthy, what I do is create 2 columns. One for each side, common for friends.
I don't know why he
appeared opposite Billy in the school yearbook. But let's not hold that against him.
The fact that he talks and he uses his hands, he's like a Sopranos character.
I saw my guy Billy. He does not cheat. He got 1 million score. He got 1 million score on that machine. He does not cheat.
My boy Billy would never cheat.
1 for yes, I should trust them, and 1 for no, I should not. Then I put things into each column.
And then he just asks for like a plate of gabagool.
So first, I can see that Richard dresses really well. He has a nice suit, and he has a nice watch. No one who dresses this well could lie. So I'm going to put that into the yes column. For the no
Okay. He's literally just being snide now. He wears a nice suit. He doesn't lie.
column, there isn't much I found out about Richard that really concerns me, except for this super tiny detail of him pleading guilty to conspiracy, securities fraud, money laundering, and criminal contempt in 1996 after an FBI sting operation.
That's a lot.
I mean, it's probably nothing, but it would be remiss of me if I didn't include it.
Hang on a minute. Billy Mitchell wears a suit. Oh my god. I get it now. I get the comparison.
Back to the yes column, Richard just seems like a super friendly and nice guy. I mean, no one who looks this happy could lie, so this has
Richard360.com. Richard360.com. It's like those people that like put their Twitch username. You know, like Dead by Daylight, they'll have their name and then like TTV. Like, no one is checking out your Twitch, bro. No one. The only person that is checking out your Twitch, if you put it in your name, is the guy that you killed so he can report your channel.
So this has to go into the yes column. Now, looking at the no column, I'm going to be super nitpicky here and include this other small thing. And look, maybe this is being too judgmental, but I'm going to go ahead and add to the fact that he was charged again with fraud in 2019 by the SEC and had to pay back $750,000.
What?
It's probably not even worth bringing up, but again, I just want to be fully transparent.
Dude, he had to pay back like one NordVPN sponsor. That's insane. $750.
However, I must say that Richard has some really good motivational quotes on his Twitter feed.
Our lives are not as limited as we think. They are the world. They are. Okay, English. Our lives are not as limited as we think they are. The world is a wonderfully weird place.
They are truly
It just says below, I was sued in contempt of court for $750,000.
inspirational, and he put his name in bigger text than the person who actually said the quote. So when you think about
He just yoinks a quote from Albert Einstein, adds a palm tree, and he's like, yep. That's transformative, and just puts his like watermark at the corner.
I'm going to have to put this into the yes column.
Okay.
Now I should
The fact that he got compared to an Office bit, it's over. It's over. Once you get compared to a character from The Office, it's done. It's done.
About it, who said the quote really? I'm going to have to put this into the yes column. Now I should probably leave it there, and at this point, I really am not being fair to Richard, but I'll just add one more thing and I'll let you decide. In 2021, Richard was unfortunately arrested for conspiracy to commit fraud. Look, he has just not been lucky when it comes to fraud. He keeps getting caught. I, for one, do not hold this against him. For one,
These people, they keep framing me. They keep framing me. I didn't do anything wrong.
He's actually a character from The Sopranos. He gets caught in an FBI sting, and it's like, hey, what you gonna do about it? Hey, give me the gabagool.
in the comments what you think. Okay, so Billy's first witness is a bit sketch. Who's number 2? Billy's second witness that says he saw him get it is Todd Rogers. Oh boy, this is not going well. Okay, hit me with number 3. Surely we're going to get a winner. The third witness that says they saw Billy get the score is Kim Mahoney, who is also Todd Rogers' girlfriend. I'm going to be completely honest here. I'm getting the impression...
Okay, so that's the guy that cheated who refereed. So his girlfriend saw it as well as him. Yeah, it's over. It's actually over for Billy Sells. It's over.
Anyway, let's take a look at these new photos. Remember, this is the first time we've seen any footage of Billy at this event in 15 years. So there's Billy and Todd, and Billy's talking to some dude, and that looks like the Donkey Kong cabinet behind Billy. It's got a VCR on top, which is how they recorded the score.
Context, his key witnesses are a childhood friend that's been done for fraud multiple times, and also the guy that was refereeing the match, the guy that's been proven to be a liar. He's basically a paid actor. And then the third witness, which was meant to like turn the tables, is the referee's girlfriend. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. It's the equivalent of going to court and then your eyewitness is the imaginary friend you had when you were 12.
It all looks pretty legit so far. There's Billy and Todd posing with a couple of people. There's a camera that was recording Billy play, even though that footage doesn't seem to exist for some reason. Here's Billy and Todd posing again with the thumbs up. Maybe this is just after Billy got the world record. I have to admit, everything here looks pretty legit, and oh my god, what is that?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What is it? Is it an emulation
That
kit?
joystick is not an original Donkey Kong joystick.
It's
this
over!
arcade machine does not have original unmodified Donkey Kong arcade
It's
hardware.
over!
This is an original Donkey Kong stick. It's got a big black ball and a short column. The stick on Billy's arcade is a tall stick with a smaller ball, and it's obviously red, so the stick has been changed to something else.
Undone by a joystick. Undone. That is... He has tried so hard to win this. He's been suing people out the ass. He's probably put millions of dollars into a good lawyer, and then he's undone by a joystick.
On top of that, it appears to be an 8-way stick. Now, the original Donkey Kong stick is 4-way, which means it can only go up, down, left, and right. But an 8-way stick, like the one you would find on all modern arcades, can also go diagonally. When it comes to Donkey Kong, an 8-way stick fundamentally changes the way...
I think Billy Mitchell is the perfect example of someone that just keeps lying to dig themselves into a bigger hole. And they think if they dig deep enough, they'll just end out on the other side and be absolutely fine. We've all done a little bit of lying, right? Like we've all told a little white lie. Like, you know, I've only had 3 cans of Monster today when I've had 5 instead, and that's why I'm jittery so much. How long has this been going on for? Like 15 years or something? It is insane. Like, and he must genuinely go to bed every night. That's why in all the pictures, he looks miserable. He looks miserable because he just knows it's going to come crashing down.
If you want to steer barrels while on a ladder, you have to stop and hold left or right, because you can't go up and to the side at the same time.
So his entire career was ended by a big red ball.
But with an 8-way stick, you can continue to climb ladders while steering barrels by using the diagonals. With an 8-way stick, you can do things you can't do on an original arcade, which is why they are banned. So not only is the stick not original, which was totally banned, it looks like an 8-way stick, which is extra banned. And not only would Billy's world record still not count because of the modified stick, but Billy would still also be banned for lying about it.
Just joined. Is the game good? It's amazing.
And oh boy, did he lie about it. His entire lawsuit against Twin Galaxies is based on the premise that he played on unmodified original arcade hardware, which is categorically not true. Not only from the videotapes, but now from the photos as well. And his lawsuit is full of lies where Billy claims the hardware was unmodified. And not just Billy, the referees who adjudicated the score lied as well. Todd Rogers...
It's the equivalent of those little kids that play Roblox and they, you know, they act like they don't cheat, but they've got some like external hardware that gives them like no clip and shit, and like 10 billion Robux.
And his girlfriend Kim Mahoney both say in their sworn statements that Billy played on...
I just like how the third witness is the guy's girlfriend. Like, honestly, if it was up to Billy to write that lawsuit without the guidance of a lawyer, he probably would have just said fucking random people on the street that walked past and glanced inside the store like, oh, they're witnesses. I'm Billy Mitchell. I'm innocent.
Modified hardware. Everyone just got caught out, big time. And it gets even worse, because these photos don't just affect the mortgage broker's score world record, they also affect the King of Kong score as well. This is Robert Childs, who is also a longtime friend of Billy Mitchell. For those with a very good memory, this is the same guy that was in the infamous fake board swap video. He has been lying on behalf of Billy for years. He is part of the con artist clique. Robert Childs runs Arcade Game Sales, which is an arcade retailer in Florida. Arcade Game Sales is important because this is where Billy claims he achieved the King of Kong world record, on an arcade cabinet provided by Robert Childs. Now, as part of his...
I'll be honest, I don't think with this situation, I don't think Billy is like being bitter just to come out on top. I think it's because if he loses this lawsuit, he's going to hurt his wallet so much because, like, look how many sponsors he has around him. He's got like Barstool, that Barstool company, King Kong, Nintendo sponsors. He must have so many sponsors just because of the fact that he's got the world record for Donkey Kong.
Now, as part of his case, Billy Mitchell also submitted a sworn statement from Robert Childs, and Robert states in 2003 he helped Billy by providing an arcade machine. He swore that this was an original Donkey Kong arcade machine. He says the same machine Billy got his King of Kong score in 2004, and says the same machine was used again in 2007 at the Mortgage Brokers Convention. This means
his hair looks ironed. Oh yeah, no, he's basically one of the 3 people on Earth that I can say he actually has a worse hairstyle than me.
means that not only is the mortgage broker's score disqualified because it was a modified machine, but because Robert Childs swears it was the same machine used in 2004, the King of Kong score is disqualified as well. Billy Mitchell, Todd Rogers, Kim Mahoney, and Robert Childs were all lying about the arcade machine that was supposedly used, and now it's proven. You may be wondering why Billy would lie about something that can so obviously be disproven.
He looks so tired, man. He looks so... You know what? He must think of himself as like Lord Gwyn in Dark Souls, and he's just waiting for someone to just come up and like end it all so he can finally be put to rest.
And the answer...
He's so tired of lying, you can just see it.
...is that Billy didn't know these photos existed. In fact, the entire Donkey Kong community didn't know these photos existed. They were only made public recently, and not by Billy Mitchell. These photos were never made public, and they were only retrieved now by directly contacting the organizers of the convention, which luckily still had them. I cannot stress enough how damning these photos are. Even if you were to disregard every single thing that has ever been said about Billy being a cheater up until this point, based solely on these photos, Billy would still lose his lawsuit against Twin Galaxies. His records would still be removed, and he would still be banned, because these photos show his records are not legitimate. I cannot wait until this goes to trial, and you best believe that when it does, I'm going to cover it.
Why does he just always wear the same shirt and tie? He always has a tie with some American iconography, like it's the Statue of Liberty or it's the American flag. Poor little baby. I'm Billy Mitchell, I'm innocent. Yeah, the Pixels poster was so genius though, just like being associated with that film. It's almost like Adam Sandler was like, yeah, we know he's guilty. Let's get him on, it'll be funny.